The newly woke National Basketball Association and Baseball League are collapsing as their ratings crash to an all-time low. In this video, we're going to take a look at how leftist liberals, they really do destroy everything they touch, how social justice warriors are causing their ratings to plummet, and how corporatist globalist leftists are once again proving the age-old adage, say it with me, get woke, go broke. You're not going to want to miss it. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you as always. If this is your first time here on this channel, we post 2 videos a day analyzing current events, analyze some super awesome conservative trends so we can all live in the present in light of even better things to come. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. It'd be an absolute privilege to have you as a regular part of this channel where each and every day we together celebrate, yes, the inevitable collapse of left-wing globalism and the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age. So let's start off with our video chat question of the day. Are you boycotting professional sports that publicly promote Black Lives Matter? Let us know in the comments section below. Are you or do you plan to stop watching and supporting teams or sports that support BLM? Let us know what you think, because if you are, then you are not alone. The ratings are in for the newly woke professional sports leagues, and we're going to find that they simply couldn't be worse. But before we dive right in here, you may not know, but gold just made history. It hit a record high of over $1,900 an ounce. Many experts believe it's going to hit upwards of $3,000 an ounce in just the next 18 months. So if you're sick with the low returns and volatility from the market, it is time to look at gold and silver. And that is where our good friends over at Noble Gold come in. Gang, they're the best. And there's never been a better time to start a gold or silver IRA in your portfolio. And the amazing staff over at Noble Gold are ready to help you in any way that they can. And you may even get a 5-ounce America the Beautiful silver bullion coin in the process. How's that? So do not wait. Click on that link below, or visit their website at noblegoldinvestments.com, or give them a call at 877-646-5347. Make sure to mention my name, Dr. Steve Turley, and let's ride that gold wave together. Onward and upward. All right, let's dive right in here. We've got yet another entry into our ever-expanding chronicles, our never-ending examples of the age-old adage, get woke, go broke. As it turns out, the woke warriors that have come to dominate our professional sports associations, the corporatist globalist liberals that run and play for the National Basketball Association, as well as, unfortunately, the Major League Baseball, they are once again proving that leftist liberalism literally destroys everything it touches. Now, in case you don't know, players, managers, and owners in both the NBA and Major League Baseball, all of whom are corporatist globalists, unfortunately, most especially the NBA with its newfound love affair with communist China, they both decided that they were going to show their unwavering solidarity, their fealty, their undying fidelity to the ultra-left cultural Marxist Black Lives Matter movement. And so what we've been treated to for the last several weeks is a number of displays, a number of exhibitions for the BLM movement. So if you watch any at the NBA games, what you would find is every single NBA player kneeling during the national anthem. There was one exception, God bless him. This highly disrespectful posture, refusing to stand for the national anthem. All the while they're wearing their Black Lives Matter shirts to show how woke they are, and they were often kneeling right in front of this massive banner painted across the court saying the same, Black Lives Matter. So I just need to say at this point, looking at all the pictures of that, am I the only one that really just finds all this just getting frankly creepy? Am I the only one that thinks this is bordering on some kind of weird kind of mass cult? I really think North Korea's Kim Jong-un is frankly getting jealous from seeing this extraordinary fealty and fidelity among tens of millions of Americans for this BLM idea. It's really, really odd. I mean, think about it. Are they kneeling for the national anthem, or are they kneeling before the altar of this new woke cult, this new BLM cult? Well, sure, both, right? So, well, That's what you would have been treated to by the NBA. And unfortunately for me, because I'm a baseball fan, I could care less about basketball, frankly. But unfortunately, the same goes for MLB, Major League Baseball. Once again, in a comparable manner to basketball, we're seeing the BLM mottos stamped onto the pitcher's mound, the Washington Nationals and the Los Angeles Dodgers. On opening day, if you could believe this, on opening day, the Tampa Bay Rays sent out a tweet saying, "Today is opening day, which means it's a great day to arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor." Now, Breonna Taylor was a black woman who was shot and killed in Louisville by Louisville police officers. In Louisville. What does this have to do with Tampa Bay? It's just so repulsively petty. But that's what we've been treated to over the last few weeks since professional basketball and baseball have started up. And of course, pundits believe that they would smash it in the ratings. You know, our beloved sports have been denied to us for months now. And now that they're back, they were like, open up the floodgates of viewership, and that's going to come with these massive, rises in ratings and all this money for our woke corporations. Just one problem. They forgot the age-old adage, right? Say it with me. Get woke, go broke. I really think they need to start teaching this adage, this age-old, inviolable law of the universe in some business schools, right? What do you think? I'm waiting. I'm honestly waiting for a master's in business program to include a course with the title Get Woke, Go Broke. It'd be the best. We'll have to have a more sophisticated title, like The Economic Consequences of Wokeness, or The Financial Costs of Leftist Activism in Professional Sports, something like that, right? That's right, the ratings are in for the new woke world of sports. We used to call them wide world of sports. Remember that on ABC, my Saturday afternoons growing up? We had the wide world of sports, but today we now have the woke world of sports. And as it turns out, again, as is always the case, the American population simply does not share in their affinity for all things leftist liberal. And so as a result, you ready for this? You're going to love this. As a result of their fidelity to all things woke, the National Basketball Association is currently experiencing their worst ratings ever. NBA viewership is down nearly 30% on TNT, 6% on ESPN. They're barely netting an average of 1.6 million viewers, which is significantly down from the 2.8 million they got at the same point in the season last year. Major League Baseball fared slightly better after a record start to their season. Nevertheless, their ratings did come crashing down to earth with about a 2.7 million viewership average on Fox. And it's being widely acknowledged that Major League Baseball is at last suffering from the broke economics that come from getting woke. And it really is sad. And that, of course, is because baseball in particular has been the traditional sport of American culture. Baseball, if you don't know, baseball was actually a vital part of rebuilding our nation after the devastation wrought by the Civil War. Baseball's National League was formed in 1876, so just 10 years or so after the end of the Civil War. And the American League was just formed a few years after that. And they were all part of this effort to foster a renewed sense of national unity after such horrible social fission and dissonance and violence that characterized the prior couple of decades. And so baseball games were regularly played on the 4th of July. And then shortly after World War II, to celebrate our victory, the national anthem became the staple inaugural invocation for sporting events in general throughout the nation. So sports have long been a very important site, a very important location for the fostering of unifying national sentiments. Just think of the role of soccer I know it's technically football, right, in Europe and Latin America for the fostering of nationalist sentiments and national unity there. So it's really a tragedy to see the corporatist globalists in Major League Baseball in particular just pollute that game with their sentiments for all things woke. And here's the fundamental problem when you mix national sports with cultural Marxist wokeness. Okay, here's what we have to understand to discern that. Here's our course on the dynamics behind the whole get woke, go broke principle when it comes particularly to professional sports. What we have to understand is that this current wave of wokeness is inextricably linked to a radical conception of multiculturalism turned into tribalism, right? So while multiculturalists tried to make the argument back in the 80s and 90s that America was just a hodgepodge of multiple cultures with no particular culture being dominant, tribalism embraces what we call cultural determinism, which in fact says that if you and I are different races, then we belong to incompatible cultures. And so tribalist sentiments actually champion a racial and cultural identity that embraces breaking up, social fission, extreme differentiation, and ethno-cultural segmentation. So how on earth do you expect to promote and celebrate such radically ethno-tribalist sentiments within a sporting event that's supposed to foster unifying national sentiments in any way that makes sense? I mean, it's a square circle. How is it even imaginatively possible? In a national sports context, how do you intelligibly push and promote balkanizing, tribalizing sentiments? It's totally incoherent. And that's why I think you're seeing such a massive backlash against professional sports among viewers. And I would be one of them. I'd turn the damn thing off. Now, one way out of this is that the sports media, which is notoriously leftist liberal, the sports media has been trying to turn these BLM demonstrations in professional basketball and baseball into replays of civil rights demonstrations of the 1960s. So think, for example, the now rather iconic Black Power salute by Tommy Smith and John Carlos during the national anthem at the 1968 Olympic Games as they were standing on the pedestals. But the problem here is that such sentiments in the 1960s were embraced by the American public only insofar as they sought to be fully integrated into the American dream and the founding principles of our nation. I mean, we talked about this the other day, but this was the rhetoric behind the I Have the Dream speech. It's a speech that never calls into question the ideals of America as understood by the founding fathers. It rather called on those ideals to be applied equally to blacks as they were applied to whites. What makes the BLM movement so off-putting for the vast majority of Americans, as we're seeing with this devastating drop in ratings, is that the rhetoric coming out of the BLM movement actually calls into question many of those ideals of our founding fathers as inconsistent with distinctively black ethnocultural sentiments. And so the rhetoric today that we hear from BLM is highly ethnocentric and radically tribalist, and as such has absolutely no place in professional sporting events that have traditionally been a site of fostering national unity and solidarity. So as a result, the woke corporate executives and the SJWs among the professional athletes are reaping the devastating effects of their ideology. People are tuning out, and as a result, the revenues are beginning to drop and drop dramatically. And there's no way around it. Both the NBA and MLB have once again proven the age-old adage, get woke, go broke. Now, before you go, make sure to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. And make sure to check out my latest video I just uploaded on how President Trump is letting crime-infested Minneapolis implode as the police are actually telling their citizens to obey criminals and expect to get robbed. It's absolute insanity, brought to you by the Democratic Party. You're not going to want to miss this. So make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.